All right. What's up, everyone? This is the second of a series of podcasts that I'll be doing on my channel. And today I have a very special guest, someone who's been a little hard to reach, but she's here. It would be Mew channel, otherwise Much. She's a good friend, and she's a VTuber.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the channel, and welcome to the podcast. So tell me, let's start this thing. What inspired you to be a VTuber?
Not gonna lie, when I first heard about VTubing, I was mostly interested in the art aspect about it. Just like, cause when I was looking at my friends who were making their VTuber models, it was like all the layering process was really interesting to me. So, like in this model, every piece here that you see that moves is its own layer. So everything that moves down to all the hair and stuff is all one layer. So it was very interesting for me to learn how to like set everything up so it could be rigged correctly. And it like the layers, I think they were like in the 200s, I think, by the time I was finishing my first model.
Wow.
Which I will, yeah, very old model. She'll never see the light of day.
Well, speaking of your layers, though, I know you started out as just like a PNG, right? Just a drawing.
That's true.
And now you've evolved to a more interactive model.
Yes.
So do you mind like just taking me through that process a little bit?
Yeah, I can. Let me actually pull up. Well, I know the stream can't see this, but this is mostly for me to remember so I can recount it correctly. I began as a PNG, and it was the PNG then turned into my 2D model, which is the first model that I ever did. It was not that great, so I don't like using it too much. And I believe from that 2D model, I went to a 3D model that my friend had made for me for this VR chat event. And I used that for a couple months. And then after that, I moved to this model, which is now my current model. And I do have another 3D model in the works since I do plan to make VR content.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. And you know, just to, I guess, go over this. I guess this can tie into what I was saying originally, but how did you get into like streaming and all of this?
I think I kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I hopped on a bandwagon. A lot of people in the cosplay community here in Canada, at least, became streamers during the pandemic. So I decided, like, because I do digital art, I think it was what I had planned to do was stream me doing art, and then it evolved to just like games and then chatting and then everything else.
Okay, that's interesting. And did you like, if like, let's just say if it wasn't for the pandemic, would you have like streamed at all in the past?
Would I have streamed? I think probably, yeah. Probably not as like often as I thought I would have, but probably like a every now and then kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
But then again, I don't have a set schedule even now, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Obviously, so you got into being a VTuber, working your way up from, PNG to a model. So
yeah.
Then like, I know you've done a couple of streams. I've seen you were pretty active before. I know you're streaming a lot, but like,
yes,
having gained a lot of experience, can you tell me what is it exactly like to be a VTuber, and how hard is it, if it is hard at all?
I would say like being a VTuber is honestly, it's not that hard. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because some stuff happened in the VTuber community that like made me think, like, is there really rules when it comes to being a VTuber? I would personally say no, because technically I'm still basically a streamer. I just don't use a face cam. I just use a mascot, like, and I think a good example of like people who are technically VTubers but who don't label themselves as VTubers are like people like on YouTube. Like there's this one guy called The Right Opinion. He
Okay.
has like this mascot, but he doesn't necessarily call himself a VTuber, nor do his fans and community call him a VTuber. But he's still using this like 2D mascot to represent himself.
Right.
And as for is it hard? I would say no. Like I said, it's basically the same as like normal streaming.
Right. Okay. Well, then you touched on something about like using the 2D mascot, but not calling yourself a VTuber. So, what would you
Yeah.
classify as a VTuber then?
Well, like I said, there isn't really exact rules, but there's unspoken rules. Like, this was a big controversial topic. Whether you're still a VTuber if you show your face or not. I
Oh,
believe,
okay.
yeah, I could talk about that more later.
Yeah,
But
right.
well, the short answer is like I think that no, you could still be a VTuber while showing your face, but not actively like promote like showing like doing your streams with facecam on. Like if you do like the face reveal or something. Like in my case, I did a cosplay of my model and I posted it. So technically, I'm not. I still did a face reveal, but I showed myself as my VTuber self. So it wasn't really like kind of like eh. But
But wouldn't
yeah.
like if you showed your well, so you're just saying that you shouldn't consistently stream with the face cam, basically.
Yeah, basically. So if I were
Okay.
to stream facecam, like say for like a few weeks or something, I would probably just end up calling myself a normal streamer, because
Okay.
at that point, I'm not using my model anymore, and the model is usually what people are you think of when you think of VTubers.
Right. I mean, VTuber is a virtual model, so
Yeah, exactly.
what was your very first stream like?
Ooh, let's see if I can remember. I think when I first started streaming, I was doing like Minecraft with my friends because we had all like built
Okay.
this like little server together, and I think I still have clips of that of some of those times floating around in my channel. But
Okay.
uh, it was hard. I did not start streaming alone. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Because it was really like if I streamed by myself, it would be really hard for me to like keep everything going, because like usually when you look at videos that are like, oh, how to start streaming, they always say like talk to yourself constantly. I don't really talk to myself, so it was like really hard for me to like stream by myself in the beginning. So I would always like stream with like friends or whatever. Like if we were like playing together and we just so happened to be like I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6 of us, we'd like oh, one of us would be like, oh, I'm gonna start streaming, and like and then the rest of us would like follow suit. So you would get all of these like different point of views of us playing.
Right. But okay,
Mhm.
do you think like I know okay, obviously starting with friends is definitely a lot easier than starting alone. That's
Mhm.
without a doubt. But do you
Mhm.
think that if someone's just watching you for the first time, right? And you're streaming with a bunch of people, don't you is that like do you think that could be kind of intimidating for a viewer if they don't know like who's
Um.
who, what's going on, or how your personalities are?
Well, I mean, it's always gonna be intimidating when you find a new streamer,
Right.
but like the way we used to set up the stream is that since we were all PNGs, we would all have our PNGs lined up at the bottom, and then we would do like reactive images. So every time one of us talked in Discord, their
Right.
image would light up, so everyone can like you can slowly begin to tell who is talking, who is who.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
You started. I know you started with friends, but if I remember correctly, did you not say something? I think you said something before about how you already had like a small following to begin with, right? Instead of just starting from scratch.
Yeah, that's true. Because I started off as a cosplayer, and then like cosplayer slash dancer, and then once that kind of died down because of the pandemic, I like kind of let my community know that like, hey, if you still want to keep up with me, I'm doing this now. Like I'm streaming
Oh,
on Twitch.
okay.
You can kind of find me here if you still want your daily dose of Miyu for whatever reason.
Right. And you know, your streams are pretty interesting. I've tuned into a couple of them. And going back to streaming, obviously, you know, you talk about your first streaming with other people, and I guess maybe that's a plus to the question I'm about to ask you, but do you ever get nervous when streaming? And like, if you do, how do you deal with it?
For bigger streams that are like events, like subathons, like my 24-hour stream, I think I was nervous for those, only because it was so much for me to take on. It wasn't like me getting nervous over like, oh, what are these people gonna think of me? It was nervous like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this for the next how many hours? Because that's usually what I get nervous about, because I don't have a lot of energy. That's why my streams have kind of been dwindling down lately.
Okay.
But the way I usually like deal with it is just kind of like, just, you know, same thing. I listen to music beforehand on stream, and I just do whatever. I don't force myself to go above and beyond, which I guess is like kind of like yeah, but
right.
when people come to watch me, they watch me for how I show myself, which is basically how I normally act. So there's not like, I don't have to worry about like putting on a personality or putting on a persona.
Right.
And then when it comes to streaming with friends, obviously there's not really any stress with that. I mean, actually, that is a lie. There's a lot of stress that comes with that, especially if it's like a huge collaborative stream and we're all like saying like when we were doing Among Us streams, like all like way early in my my VTubing career. Those would be super hard because you have to coordinate everyone. Everyone would be in like different time zones. Someone would be asleep when we're starting to stream. They're like, oh my god, where's Wim? We're trying to find him. And sorry, Wim, if you're seeing this, I didn't mean to pull you into this.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting. But I imagine like the more people there are, well, that's kind of what you were saying. Like the more people there are, the more chaos there can be.
Oh yeah, but sometimes that's a plus. Sometimes that's a plus.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. I mean, it provides for content, so you know, either way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So then, talking about your streams, what is it that you typically stream in general?
Ooh, I'm kind of like a mixed bag, like, cause it's kind of funny. I don't actually game that much in my free time. I mostly just do art. And when I had first begun streaming, my main intention was to stream just my art. But then, like, you know, I started playing things like OS and like the few games that I play on a normal basis. I think Portal was really popular when I first got it because I bought it when it was on sale. So I mostly like play like puzzle games, things that kind of stress me out because it makes for funny content.
Right.
I do a lot of art. Ooh, what I've been doing lately is watch-alongs. Not really for movies, more like just for videos. Because sometimes I like to order food before my stream and eat during my stream, and then it just turns into like a little mukbang.
Okay.
And we end up just watching food videos together and just talking about it.
Okay, that's interesting. And I know there's streamers out there that just plainly do art or something similar. But this next question, it's gonna go back to what we were talking about earlier, and talking about how, you know, whether you consider someone to be a VTuber if they're showing their face or not. But would you ever like consider streaming with a face cam? Just
I have actually considered it in the past as like because when I was doing my first subathon, I considered it as one of my incentives, like one of the higher incentives, like that would, like, if I really ended up reaching my goals, I would do that.
okay.
But the only way I would do a face cam is if I was cosplaying my VTuber character.
Okay.
But in my current situation, I can't exactly face cam just because of how my room is laid out. But I would consider it, given I'm cosplaying myself.
Okay. That's interesting. But okay, so you'd consider doing a face cam given, you have an incentive, right? So do you think, like, if you talk about the more of the well-known VTubers, like let's say Amelia, right, or anyone from Hololive, whatever,
Mhm.
would you ever see, like, personally for you, would you think that someone like they would ever do a face cam at some point?
Definitely not. The way
No?
Hololive works is like because it's a corporation,
Right.
they focus like I had an interesting conversation actually about someone about this. Like there's a very big difference between corporation VTubers, like VTubers with agencies like Shoujo, I think V Shoujo is one of them, CyberLive, Hololive. They run under a very like strict contract. So
Okay.
it has to be a certain way, which ends up like making rules. So people see these like the way these agency VTubers do their thing, and then they apply it to themselves. Well, they don't necessarily have to, but it's always a choice.
Right.
But if it would definitely cause controversy if they were to put a face cam on, because then it breaks the immersion.
Okay. I see. And then that applies to like social media and stuff too, yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
even for I think one of the Japanese VTubers, I don't remember what generation, they did a cooking stream, and even then, they were completely gloved up. Like you could not see a single patch of their skin.
How does that work? A cooking stream but with
Yeah,
your
I know,
VTuber
right? It was
model?
like
That
no, like they had a face cam, they had a cam on, like pointing to their counter, and they were wearing gloves, and I think they were in cosplay too, which was interesting. So yeah, I guess it still didn't break the immersion, but
right.
yeah.
Okay. That's interesting, I guess. And then just another question that's kind of similar. Since you're not showing your real face, it's a model. Do you think that the fact that no one is actually looking at you in real life takes like some pressure off of maybe nerves or anxiety or any of that when you stream?
Yeah, definitely it does. Like, I don't have to worry about because I get really self-conscious when I turn my cam on, like for my friends, like whenever in voice calls,
Right.
because my space is a little messy and it's kind of
Yeah.
odd, and then I don't, and then sometimes I don't look the best either. So
Yeah, I feel
since I don't have to stream with a face cam, I don't have to worry about like looking my best. I
Right.
can literally just like there's been days where I've streamed where I've literally like I roll out of bed or I make the tweet from my phone, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go live in 10 minutes," and then I roll out of bed and sit in my
Right.
chair and hit the live button.
Okay. Okay. So this is gonna be talking about more of your equipment. So I gotta ask then, for like I said before, you've come a long way since you started up until now. So what
Mhm.
equipment did you start with, and how is that different from now?
I started streaming on a laptop actually,
Okay.
with a monitor actually plugged into it, so I could have a dual monitor set up.
Sounds like someone I
The
know.
um, but it was all right. The laptop would heat up a little bit, but surprisingly it held well. As for like my mic and stuff, it would be I believe it was a blue snowball, like most people start with.
Okay.
Um, and yeah. No, and then I think the tablet I used at the time was a Galmon tablet,
Okay.
so nothing too great either.
And then
But I've upgraded since then, yeah.
what do you have now?
Currently, I have a full desktop PC, a dual monitor setup, and as for my mic and stuff, I have the Audio Technica 20, the AT 2020, yeah, the Audio Technica 2020, and my interface is the Avid Fast Track Solo,
Okay.
and my tablet is from Huayan, and I I actually just got this very recently from it was actually a gift from one of my subscribers, but I just can't remember the name of the model.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. And then going back to your like avatar, how I know, like I said, we've talked about this PNG interactive model. Did you come up with this model yourself? Like, did you make this?
Ooh, I can actually. There's a lot I could talk about this. So, originally, when I was a cosplayer and dancer, I had this character created for this dance group I was in called Oreo, and it was a black-haired cat girl with a small blonde streak in her hair, and that group ended up going on a hiatus because we had planned stuff for 2020, but then pandemic happened.
Right.
And so then once I started getting back into drawing more frequently, I ended up developing this character more, and started with like reference sheets, some little art for myself, and then when I heard about VTubing, I decided to try and make a model for myself, which I still have. And yeah, so now I have this character after. Yeah, so technically she exists IRL. So, and another question I usually get asked is like why her birthday is let me break the immersion a bit. So why me, the streamer, has a different birthday than Miyu, the character.
Oh yeah, tell me about
that. Yeah, because Miyu existed before I became a VTuber, so she was already like fleshed out, like had a character and all that, like personality and all that stuff. But now that I'm using her for VTubing, I don't necessarily use that personality anymore because, like I said, it's supposed to represent myself.
Right.
So yeah, but she has definitely gone through like design changes, but as for like the face and hair, nothing has really changed. Only the outfit has changed.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. And then, in terms of your interactive model right now, did you make this yourself as well or no?
No, I did not. My lovely artist and the rigger who did all my movements is October Lights _ on Twitter. And it is if I may, I can show off the full version of this model because it is entirely full body, but it only tracks all the way. It only tracks my top half because we don't have that kind of technology just yet. But hopefully I'm getting this done in 3D, so I'll be able to do VR content.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so my next question comes from like streaming again. Do you think that your content would be like any different if you weren't a VTuber?
Do I think my content would be any different if I wasn't a VTuber? I think no. It would probably be more art focused though, because
right. Okay.
Yeah, it would most likely be more art focused because art and cosplay, because that's what I wanted to originally do, like stream like me working on cosplays, like me like and sewing and stuff. But it would be hard to set up for like an IRL setup just because like I'd have to like angles and whatnot,
Right. And you mentioned before that you're not, you don't play too many games on your free time or
no, I don't.
Anything. It's mostly just art. So I have to talk about this because it's been pretty noticeable, I'd say, in your community. And I've noticed it personally and others have as well. But can you tell me about your hiatus? Like, are you coming back from your hiatus? Like, what's going on?
My hiatus? I'm back from my hiatus, actually.
Okay.
My current boyfriend actually pulled me out of retirement, quotation marks, because at the time when I was considering retiring, I was super depressed and I just couldn't find motivation to go and stream. But he's also he streams a little bit as well, so we had the idea to stream together. So that kind of pulled me out
Okay.
and now I'm back to streaming again now that I'm feeling more myself lately.
Okay. And like, do you or how consistent do you think you'd be with that now that you're back?
Um, I plan to stream about twice a week because I don't want to throw myself too far into the deep end. Like I don't want to give myself too much work. Like right now, it's been about I don't know how many days it's been since my last stream because I my last stream was the subathon and
Right.
that went really well. Um, but yeah, I do plan to stream about twice a week.
Okay. Um, and not to, I guess, I don't want to pry too much, but are you able to go more in detail about like why you decided, to go on a hiatus or um, what you were doing during that break?
I believe what I've been mostly doing throughout my hiatus was I'm not gonna lie, I was playing VR chat. Because because the story of how I got into VR chat is actually very interesting. I got my headset in about April, and the
Okay.
reason I bought it was because I wanted to experience VR while high. That's literally the only reason why I
Okay.
bought a VR.
Okay.
So, and then as I started playing more, I started meeting all these people, and I definitely became more introverted as the pandemic went on. So being able to like still socialize with people, with like and not leave my house was really nice. Another thing with that is like being able to look the way I wanted without even if I couldn't look that way IRL. So that was also a big help. But yeah, during my hiatus, I was playing like VR chat. I was mostly just on Discord and drawing. Um, but yeah, and I was still active on Twitter as well. It's not like I was like completely gone.
Okay. Um, and you mentioned before that you had no like motivation to keep streaming, or you didn't
Hmm.
you didn't feel like doing it anymore. Is there a reason
Yeah.
for that, or is it just happened randomly?
Um, the reason it happened, I believe, was due to depression. But I've been
Okay.
doing really well lately, so I'm not too worried about it happening again unless something were to happen. But I don't think anything is gonna happen because like I said, I've been doing pretty well.
That's good.
Um,
Happy for you.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Uh, and I noticed, like, well, you said you did your subathon the other day,
Hmm.
and that stream went on for quite a bit, actually, a lot longer than your usual streams, I'd say.
Yeah, like I think it went on for about 6 hours.
Right. So were you? I believe you told me in the past that sometimes when you stream, you're just concerned about like when it's going to be over, as opposed to like
Yeah, exactly. That's how it used to be. Like,
were you was that like was there a similar feeling, the fact that you streamed for 6 hours instead of however long you usually
um,
stream, or
not really, because I did have some people on with me,
okay.
and I believe my goal was to either hit my halfway mark or the full mark, and if I hit the halfway mark, I'd end the stream. And I did end up hitting my halfway mark, so that's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. um so then I guess I'm just gonna move on to your aspirations, or at least in this kind of category, if you'd call it.
Hmm.
But are there any VTubers that you know, or maybe you don't know, but just any VTubers in general that you look up to?
Um, I believe I only have a few because I'm not too huge on my circle of VTuber friends is not as big as it used to be. But two VTubers I like to try and keep up with are Kagero Otori and Jupiter's Den, which are both like longtime friends of mine in the VTubing community. Like these were the people like I first met, and we still keep in contact, but it's been a hot while we since we've all hung out and talked. Like I
All
think
right.
they've moved on from because we used to do a podcast together, but I believe since my
Okay.
hiatus, they've moved on to new members of the podcast, which I'm a little sad about. You know, sometimes I wish like I could still join them, but you know, it's nice to see that they're still going, even if
Right.
they are doing it without me.
And are there like anybody from the really big corporations, like let's say Hololive or
I don't
anyone
think so.
else?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really keep up with I only keep up with indie VTubers. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And going back to, I guess this kind of relates over to the content that you stream, but I know you said you don't play that many games, but are there any games that you enjoy or that you look forward to playing or trying or anything like that?
You know, since you've mentioned that, let me actually look at my Steam wish list. Ooh, a few of the I can name off the top of my head is definitely Bayonetta 3 because I know they just had the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
announced that. The new Kirby game I'm also looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Some games that I'm just looking forward to looking to get in general are Persona 5 Strikers, Yakuza Like a Dragon.
What about Persona 5 Royal?
Persona 5 Royal, of course. But I'm gonna have to get I mean, actually, no, I do have Persona 5 for PS3, but I had to cover up my TV for VR. But I plan to get back into it at some point.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And what about the Animal Crossing update? Did you look at that?
Oh, I did, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been so long since I've touched on Animal Crossing just because I burned myself out. Because I was one of those people who would play like every single day, like 500 hours under my belt. And then as soon as like the updates got quiet, I abandoned it. Like
Same.
And it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to come back to it. Like,
right.
I really wish I could. I really wish I could come back to it and start fresh, but not indulge myself so much into it as I did last time.
Right. I mean, I was the same way, and I think you and I both know because I remember you were.
Yeah, we used to all play together. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there at the beginning when it came out. It was a really cool game from first looks, first impression. It was really good. First year was good, and then this year they just dropped off hard. They fell hard, in my opinion.
But the updates are slowly starting to come back.
Do you think hypothetically, let's say the direct happens, probably within a week or 2 weeks. Like if there's anything interesting, you think this direct could be the thing to pull you back in, or are you just done completely?
I don't know. I really want to. I mean, if I were to get back together with you guys to like play it again,
Right.
I probably will. But I want to restart my town. And the thing is, I feel with Animal Crossing, at least with New Horizons, I feel like they gave us a little too much power. Because now there's it's so overwhelming. Like, how am I going to decorate this part of my island? How am I going to decorate my house? How am I going to decorate my villagers' houses? It's like there's so many options, and then you see all these crazy good looking towns, and it's like, man, I want it to look like that, but then the problem with a lot of things is I just don't have motivation. So
yeah, I feel
that'll come up a lot. So I just don't have the motivation to make my town look like that. I can only make it look as good as I possibly can.
Motivation, consistency are my biggest weaknesses, I'd say. When it comes to a lot of things, but especially with terraforming and AC, I don't know, I can't tell you how many times I've made something and then I've removed it because I didn't like it or because someone else's town looked better than mine. My town is one of those that will never be finished, but it's always a work in progress. Are there any other games, or is that mostly it?
There is Super Mario Odyssey that I want to get into.
Okay.
Because I did get that for Christmas last year, and it's been a couple months, but I do want to get back into that.
What about Breath of the Wild? Have you looked at that or no?
Oh, I actually did. Breath of the Wild was one of the first games I played when I got my Switch.
Okay.
I'm actually basically at the end game, but I just got too distracted exploring, so now I've just kind of I roam every now and then. I'll turn on my Switch and then I'll roam around.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy because I actually haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, but I have it. I got it. So I'm gonna play that soon.
Great game.
But
you should definitely play it.
yeah, I plan to. What are some of your hobbies and goals, whether that be in real life, and I guess on stream as well, since you're back?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that art is one of my bigger hobbies, and same with cosplaying. I still am back in cosplaying despite my retirement as a content creator. There's actually a convention coming up later this month that I'll probably be attending for a day or so. And I do plan to cosplay, so that'll be kind of like me coming back to it after 2 years of taking a break. What else? I've been trying to cook more lately. That's what I've been.
Okay.
That's another thing. I actually just bought some groceries today to try and make a meal with, so hopefully that'll go well. But yeah, no, I don't really do much. I've been spending most of my days lately just talking to my boyfriend and hanging out with him.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about like your stream? Any like goals for that at all, or?
Ooh, do I have any goals for stream? I don't know. I'm kind of comfortable where I am currently. Like, I never expected to hit, I believe I'm at 1.4K right now, and I never did expect to hit that. And, I don't know. I don't really have big goals for myself. Like, maybe join a corporation or agency would be cool, but I don't like the idea of having like a strict set of rules for myself. Like, I really enjoy being like independent and having all this like flexibility to do whatever I want, stream whenever I want, and all that.
Okay. Do you see yourself like making a career out of this at all, or no?
I definitely do want to hit partner, that's for sure. But that would definitely be a long time goal for me. Like, if I were to, I'd have to go back to streaming consistently if I would want to do that. But I do plan to start college in spring of next year, so I don't think it would be realistic for me to switch to consistent streaming now and then only do that for a few months and then go back to part-time.
Okay, I see. And what about like, do you have any projections for the future of your channel, or no?
Any plans for the future?
Yeah.
Well, I do have a couple milestones coming up. I believe at the end of the month I have my 1-year anniversary, and I do plan to do a big stream for that. And then the month after that, I have my birthday stream. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside from, I guess, like Twitch, do you post on any other platform or have any?
Like VTubing content, my only other platform is Twitter. I do have an Instagram for like VR chat content, but I want to keep that separate from VTubing because we're not really the same person. I do go under the same name though. Okay. So that's your only hint if you want to try finding me. But
okay.
But yeah, no, I don't really have other platforms. I have my Discord and I have my Twitter, and that's it.
Do you post on YouTube at all or no?
I have a single video up and it's a clip, but I plan to revamp it and make like a compilation video of all my funny moments with the help of a friend for editing. And yeah, but other than that, I'd have to be streaming more in order to make more of those clip videos because I can't exactly make content from nothing, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And then, I guess going back really quickly going back to your content in general. You said that you're planning to make VR chat content.
Yes, that's true.
How soon would that be?
Oh, as soon as I'd say between, I think, the 20th
of this month.
I am currently Of this month, yeah, because I
Okay.
am currently saving up for a new setup and headset. So
Okay. Looking to upgrade again?
and yes, looking to upgrade once again. Well, it's not gonna be a full upgrade because I am buying it secondhand from a friend, but
Right.
an upgrade is still an upgrade.
Right. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay, aside from like your streams and stuff, talking more about you, do you watch any anime or any shows, movies
Ooh.
lately?
I've been watching Squid Game and Jujutsu Kaisen lately. I have
Okay.
put Jujutsu Kaisen on the back burner for now because I was watching it with a friend that I haven't talked to in a while. Um, I believe I'm on last I left up on was episode 13. And right now I'm watching Squid Game and I'm on episode either 4 or 5 and I'm really enjoying that so far.
I heard it's really good, but I personally haven't seen it yet.
Oh, super good. I really enjoyed where it's brought me so far and it's getting super interesting. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
How many episodes is it?
Um that's a good question. I know it's all fully released.
Yeah.
I want to say like actually let me look it up. I want to say 13. Oh, there's only 9 episodes.
Okay, so you're almost done.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then what about any anime like other than JJK's? Is it, or is that just it? Pretty much.
I've kind of put anime on a break lately because
Okay.
the last anime I watched before Jujutsu Kaisen was Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, and that was like super good anime for me. I really enjoyed it, and then I just kind of left off on it ever since then. And there hasn't been really any other anime that I've been wanting to watch, but Jujutsu Kaisen is super good as well. I'm really also liking where I'm at so far.
And I asked Michael the same question I'm gonna ask you. But what would be a 10 out of 10 anime for you?
A 10 out of 10 anime for me. Sorry, my boyfriend's. Sorry, I couldn't like hear him from my headset.
You're good.
Hi, babe. Okay. An anime I would give a 10 out of 10 for sure on is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's probably my all-time favorite anime, just because it was like a lot of good arcs, really good fight scenes, a really good story. Like there is the original Fullmetal Alchemist, and then there's Brotherhood, and it just kind of the Brotherhood follows the manga more, but the original also has a very interesting storyline. I think it even goes kind of mecha at the end.
Right.
But I'll leave it at just that.
I watched Brotherhood. I haven't seen just regular Full Metal Alchemist, but I saw Brotherhood, and I really liked it as well. I thought that was really good, personally. Okay, and then what about, have you seen like any anime movies at all? Like, Your Name or, Weathering with You, for example.
Remember, I think it was I watched it with you guys. That one, something Makia.
I don't know.
I don't know the name. It was a really sad movie. Makia. Oh, Makia When the Promised Flower Blooms. That's probably my favorite anime movie. Oh my lord, I remember watching it with a couple of you guys. I don't know if you were there, but it was really good. Super sad. I think I actually watched it while I was stoned, which might have been a mistake because I got super emotional at the end. Yeah, we did. We all cried together. Kayla's right.
Yeah.
Super good movie. I'm trying to think if there's any other movies I've watched recently. I don't think so. No, I'm not really one for movies actually.
Okay, I see.
They're kind of like a little treat every once in a while for me because I have a hard time sitting still.
I feel you. Okay. Okay, and putting, anime aside, what about like a real life movie or TV show? Like what's any favorites on that end, or
To be honest, Not really. I recently watched Burlesque again, which is a movie that's on a musical that's on Netflix, and that's always it's always fun. I don't know if I mentioned, but for like how I said I was going to college, I do plan on going to college for fashion design. So Burlesque is is a huge inspiration for me when it comes to like designing. So
Right.
I like watching that occasionally to like get like new ideas and stuff.
Okay. All right. Um, and then one more thing. I don't know if you're like I don't know if you can see the stream or anything like that.
No, I have the stream open. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, what do you think of my Logan Paul shirt?
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought you were just wearing a black shirt. Hold on, let me let the stream catch up. I honestly thought it was just a black shirt. I did not know it was a Logan Paul shirt.
No, I wanted your opinion because Wyatt got that for me from my birthday. So, you know.
Oh, really?
I just whatever. I mean, it's
I don't know. The last thing I know of, like the last thing I heard about Logan Paul was that he got arrested for something.
I have not heard about that. I don't know. I guess I'm part
Or
of the
maybe that was,
Logan.
or maybe that was Jake Paul. I'm not sure.
It's probably one of them, but it's actually it's pretty good quality print though. The shirt. And I guess this doesn't really belong here at this segment, but let's say I want to do VTubing or someone else, right? What advice could you offer to someone who's trying to do this kind of thing?
Networking is a big deal with VTubing, especially in the indie community. Like, because you want to do collabs, you want to have friends, you can like retweet each other's content. Yeah, so networking is a huge part of VTubing, I would say. Another thing is that do what's comfortable for you. Don't try and fit yourself into a mold, and don't try to like change your personality, because over time you will notice people will notice it start to dwindle off. Because I remember when I first started, I had a personality for myself or that I wanted to portray, and I ended up abandoning it completely because I was like so tired of just having to put up a facade basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I think typically when you do anything, you should just be true to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of putting up that fake persona. Assuming your community watches either the stream or the videos, right? Is there anything that you would want to say to them?
All I can really say is thank you, because they've really been putting up with my ass, coming on and off hiatus suddenly and whatnot.
Right.
And a lot of them have still stuck around. I know I have lost a couple people, but I can't exactly complain. It's expected. That kind of thing happens. So, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
I want to say thanks, for sticking around and putting up with me.
Other than that, though, are there any other last remarks or statements or words you want to say?
Other than keep an eye out for more information about, I am doing a keychain run actually, because I hit that goal for my subathon. And keep an eye out for more about my anniversary stream. And that's really it.
Okay. Well, I thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.